Some tools you're going to need to connect the sensor cable to AC73 are you're going to need a wire stripper, a crimper, depending on which type you have, and a knife, a small ruler. You're going to start off with measuring 15 centimeters. You're going to make a small cut and then bend it to open up the cut you just made. Don't cut too deep, and then you're going to slowly work that cut all the way around to the other side. You're going to pull back the metal shielding and cut it at 10 to 15 millimeters and fold it back over the orange insulation. Remove the plastic with a small little cutter, or you can also use a knife. Then you can start to remove 8 millimeters from the ends of the wire and prepare for the nozzle plugs. So twist the wires and then put on the nozzle plug, and then you can use a hand crimper. There's different versions. Just make sure you get a really good crimp job and that the wire comes right up to the end of the nozzle. There are 12 wires to crimp. The cable to the sensor, you're going to need a 24 millimeter spanner, a hex number 3, and a slot screwdriver number 0. Make sure before you touch anything you have a grounding wristband and that you have EST shoes. Open up the housing. There are 4 number 3 hex screws on either side. Be very careful when you're lifting the lid to bend it to the front. Remove the female connector that is on the sensor board. Remove the compression nut and put it onto the cable. Remove the rubber gland and put it onto the cable. Remove the grounding clip, the wires through into the housing. Make sure that they're twisted as far as possible and start mounting them onto the connector. Number 1 is white, number 2 is brown, number 3 is green, number 4 is yellow, number 5 is gray, number 6 is pink, number 7 is blue, number 8 is red, number 9 is black, number 10 is purple, number 11 is gray pink, number 12 is blue red. Make sure you tighten these down, and when you're finally done tightening them down, you're also going to want to pull on them lightly to make sure that none of them are able to fall out. This is really important to double check after you're done screwing them down that you did the right color code. Double check to make sure you tighten them all down properly. Put on the grounding clip around the shielding and put it into the sensor housing gland connector, and then slide down the rubber gland and then the compression nut, and use the 24 millimeter spanner and tighten it down all the way till the rubber is just flush with the compression nut. Make sure that it doesn't come outside of the compression nut. It should be flush. Plug the female connector into the male connector. Make sure that it's flush. And it's a little bit tricky. You have to pull the wires in so they don't get stuck underneath the housing. Otherwise you can damage a wire and you'll have to repeat the whole step over again. Tilt it on an angle so that the gland goes underneath the lip of the board. Make sure that the rubber seal around is secure in the groove. Sandwich it together and double check to make sure that the rubber seal around is secure in the groove. After that, you can tighten down the cover and you're done.